my channel. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for tuning in. For today's video, I will be doing a tutorial on this look right here, which is a cute little wedding tutorial. Before we get started, I know my hair is not wedding appropriate, but I didn't have time. So we're just gonna focus on the makeup. And before we get started, another thing, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Turn the notification bells on because I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you get notified every time I upload. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it rolling. I'm back, super excited. If you watched my previous video, you know that I was very sick and I couldn't film, so there wasn't any videos for this Monday and last Friday, but we're back. I'm definitely way better. I still have a little itch in my throat. I'm not as like coughy anymore, but definitely well enough to film again. So super excited. For today's video, I already have this eye done, so we're gonna go ahead and do my left eye. So for that, I'm going to prep it with this, use it probably in every single video. It's my MAC paint pot. I'm just gonna apply it to the base of my lid. All right, so I have you zoomed in. This is the palette we will be using today. Mine is nice and clean. So this is actually the first drop of the Jaclyn Hill palette. So mine is the very first one. It does not have the shade names on it, so I'm clueless as to which shade names I will be using. But just so we have a clear understanding, oh, that looks very clean. So just so we have a clear understanding of that is my hair. Don't know how that got there. Just so we have a clear understanding of which shade I will be using, and I don't keep popping up with this, we're gonna go in with this shade right here as my crease. Then right after the crease, I'm gonna grab this shade right here, which is that nice bone colored shimmery shade. And then this is the outer corner shade. And then from there, I will be going in and out of these two to deepen up and blend out the outer corners. But I'll remind you guys as I go along, but just so I show you right now which exact shades I will be using. So going in with my crease blender from Stilazzi, right on the crease, nice fluffy brush. So you see how that shade, it's barely there, you can kind of tell, but that's what I want it to be. I just want it to be kind of like that barely there, your skin tone crease shade. So now I'm gonna be applying that bone shade color with my flat dome shader, nice white shimmery shade, right on the main portion of my eyelid. And I like kind of using the same brush. And obviously this is not a blending brush, but I kind of like acting as if it is and diffuse that into the crease shade just a little bit. Perfect. So that, see how that kind of touches a little bit more than halfway in the center of my eyelid, because obviously right there we're going to deepen it up. If I bring it out too much, then this outer shade would look a little bit too muddy and kind of pearly as well, because that's actually what I should have said the first time. It's more of a pearly white creamy shade. If I brought that out too far, then it'll get mixed in with that darker shade and it's not gonna look good. So make sure you stop it a little bit halfway. To begin that outer corner darkening, we're gonna use this pencil. So this is just a Morphe B72, nice pencil brush. Gonna dip into that dark brown. And I'm gonna start stamping along the lash line. And blending towards the lash line. So you see how it's kind of like that line right there. It's okay, we're gonna blend it out, but I just wanna stamp that on there. And then whatever's left over, I'm gonna bring it into my crease. So before I start blending out, I want you to notice how the eyeshadow is very confined to the size of my eye. So a lot of the times when I do eyeshadow, I really like elongating my eye and kind of bringing it out here. But notice how this one, It's not super drawn out. It's very above my eye. So when I open it, you don't see a lot of the eyeshadow, which I think is perfect for a wedding and especially beautiful for even a bride because, I mean, depending on the person, usually, I mean, I know I want to be extra glam on my wedding years from now, but a lot of the times people want more natural looks for weddings, whatever it is, because they don't want to upstage the bride. I think just having it right on top of your eye as opposed to drawing it out and drawing a lot of attention is recommended, but you do you. But again, so when I blend it out, I'm going to kind of keep it to right above my eye instead of focusing on blending it out like I usually do. So just giving you a little bit of a reminder of the shades that I'm using. So I just placed down this one on the outer corners of my eye. So now I'm going to be going in with that shade and this one right here. I'm going to be going back and forth and just kind of blending it out so it can match my other eye. Then just going back in with that bone shade and really just kind of diffusing anything that we went over. All right, so the eyeshadow is done. Basically, we just need to do the under eye. And the lashes for today, wedding, you have to use lashes. So these are on the floor. These are the ARDELL FauxMink lashes. It is a wedding, you must wear lashes. And these are very beautiful, very wispy and not super dramatic, but just enough to give your eyes a little zhuzh for these types of events. So really recommend these and very affordable as well. And for the eyelash glue, it is the Duo Brush On Adhesive. I really like this glue. It stays on for me. I know some people have other feelings about it, but it really works out if you need something that is more like a cement glue. I recommend the House of Lashes one. I tried that one out. It works, but I feel like it's irritating and also it's very hard to come off. But it does the job and really keeps your lashes on. But this Duo one works perfectly for me. For this next step, I've never really done before until this past weekend when I actually wore this makeup to a wedding. And that was do my lower lash line eyeshadow before foundation. It scared me. I did it, but I wasn't mad at it. So I'm just using the same paint pot with my finger and just brushing that on my lower lash line where the eyeshadow is gonna be. Basically what this does, it helps with not putting extra product on your bottom lash line. It prevents creasing and, you know, just extra product really just looking cakey underneath your lash line. So this really helped. I saw a difference. So I'll be using this darker brown that I use already on my upper eyelid, and then this shade right here to kind of blend that out. So the darker shade I will be applying right on my lash line, and then the other shade to blend it out a little bit more with a pencil brush. There we go, a very lightly defined lower lash line. Super pretty. So we're gonna go ahead and zoom you out and do the rest of my face. To start off complexion, I will be priming my face with the Smashbox Photo Finish. This is a classic face primer for me. I really like this, and it's nice especially when you know you're gonna be taking photos and all that jazz. So if you're gonna be wearing this to a wedding or any event that's, you know, you have to show up and show out, I really like this. I feel like it gives your skin a very nice smooth complexion, and in photos too it looks good, and it does not have flashback, which is a huge thing. For foundation, this is the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion. I love this foundation. I've used it before here on this channel, and I think it's perfect because this foundation lasts all day. It is basically sweat proof. I've worn it to many parties that I've danced my butt off, and it doesn't come off and it doesn't crease. So obviously for a wedding, this is what I recommend to you if it works out for your skin tone. I mean, your skin type. And my skin is combo oily, it's semi-matte or velvet matte, something like that. And I usually don't like matte foundations, but because I'm oily and I have a matte foundation, my oils can really break up matte foundations because they're more dry. I like using more dewy or like a natural finish foundation because it's easy. It doesn't really break apart. It's used to the oils because a lot of them have, I wouldn't say a lot, but they have more of a finish to it to where you look more sleek and my oils won't break it up. So if I get oily, I can just, you know, pat it off. With matte foundations, I feel like it just breaks apart. I wanted to mention that, as you heard, I did wear this weekend. I don't do this for a living. It was my first time doing it. I was my best friend's little sister's day of wedding coordinator yesterday, and this is the look I did, and it lasted all day. I was obviously out up and early, running around, doing stuff. My phone vibrated, I'm sorry. Up and at 'em early. I'd have my makeup done early. This is what I did because, I mean, if it was someone people I didn't really know, I wouldn't like really do like makeup. I would just do foundation. But because I wanted to like enjoy the wedding too, because I know most of the family, I did an actual makeup look. But it lasted all day. Came back. I was a little bit oily because that's how naturally my skin is, but nothing was broken apart, nothing was creasing, nothing was settling into fine lines, and that is why I really love this foundation. But overall, my experience of the day of coordinator, it honestly wasn't as stressful as I thought. I enjoyed it. Would I do it again? Probably not, because it's just not my career, it's not my profession, but it was a fun experience. These are the two concealers I will be mixing. So this one, I've done this before. This is the MAC 24 Hour Studio Fix from MAC. I have the shade NW25. It's more on the peachier side, so I love that one to help cancel out a little bit of darkness underneath my eyes, but also really like this one because it's literally crying proof. I've done it before. So just putting that right here and then just blending that out first. And then be very careful about that lower lash line, the eyeshadow there. And then the Mercier Flawless Fusion and shade 2W. And then to set all of that, this is the Veil Translucent Powder from Hourglass, one of my favorite translucent powders. Very fine, a very fine powder, if I do say so myself. And then just gonna set the under eye. And I do set a little bit more of my face because usually I don't set all of my face. But since it is a wedding, there might be some tears that are gonna be shed. You wanna really set areas that may be exposed to salt water, aka your teardrops. I crease from my forehead. As I'm getting older, I get creases there. Before we finish off the rest of the complexion, I do want to just stamp on my eyebrows real quick. This is the Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. Shocker, I've been using this in every single video for a while. I really do like this pencil, so I'm gonna go ahead and lightly shape my brows a little bit. I've been very into subtle brows, so I'm not gonna do anything too crazy, too defined. Eyebrows are on. We're gonna go ahead and warm up the face a little bit. Not too warm because this eyeshadow is pretty more on the neutral side. I don't want to do anything too warm. I wore a black dress with this and I thought I really like how it looked. Very neutral. And if you do a look like this, you can kind of play around with what you're gonna wear. So for my neutral bronzer, I've really been liking this one. This is a City Bronzer from Maybelline. It has a hint of like warmth to it, but I love it because it's not too dark and it's not too orange. I'm starting to lose my tan a little bit, so my favorite bronzer, the Estee Lauder one, can't really wear that as much anymore because it's starting to look orange on me. So this is a Morphe M528. We're gonna go ahead and start contouring the slightest. I wouldn't even say it's a harsh contour. It's just shaping the face a little bit. Make sure you bring it down here. Now it's time for a nice soft blush, and I will be grabbing it out of my handy dandy Bahamas blush palette. I mean, I feel like these are such pretty soft colors, and we do have some vibrancy. So you really have options depending on which tones you would like. So I'm actually gonna dip into this one because it's more natural. And right on top, I will be layering this one right underneath. So that is Mai Tai and Pina Colada. Highlight, what's new, Mirame. You're probably tired of it if you are not new to my channel. I use it a lot, but for a reason. It's my favorite. I especially want to use it for this tutorial because it's basically my skin tone, but in a highlight. So it works very well. It's a very simple, but very blinding at the same time. So we're gonna use it. I'm going light-handed with it. I just want that, just a subtle glow like that. See how it's like kind of subtle, but like kind of there too? That is why I really like this highlight. With a clean fluffy brush, going in the highlight, I like diffusing the highlight into my brow bone just a little bit. Just to, you know, highlight that a little bit. Also using it to softly highlight my inner corner. Not too much because it's obviously not as light as the shadow we have on our eyelid. I just want to put enough to highlight it, but I also want to show a little bit of warmth on my inner corners. Then a little bit of the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus to really lock everything in and press in that highlight. Definitely want to use some waterproof mascara because hello, weddings can be tear jerkers sometimes. So favorite waterproof, Voluminous Lash Paradise. I've been using this for years. Not this one specifically, that's kind of gross, but you know what I mean. Right on my lower lashes. Take this off. I just wanted it so my hair wasn't in my face as I was putting on my foundation. I actually had my hair straight yesterday for the wedding, and I promise you it looked better than this. It actually had like a little bit of volume, but I didn't wash my hair, so it's like not cute right now. So just pretend it's a little bit cuter. Here, what if I just do this? That's better. Whatever. And now, last but definitely not least, we're gonna go ahead and finish off the entire face by topping off the lips. And for that, it's gonna be a combo of this lip liner from Thrive Cosmetics in shade Ruth. And right on top, my Morphe liquid lip in shade Lulu, super pretty. It's a very natural pinkish lip combo, and I think it's beautiful for a wedding occasion. You can tell this lip liner has a good amount of pigment because it is a light shade, and I have a mole right there. You probably can't tell. It's peeking through a little bit, but sometimes lip liners don't fully cover it, and this is basically fully covering it. All right, well, this is a completed look. Obviously, for an event or a wedding, your hair is gonna be a little bit more done up. I promise you mine was actually done yesterday, but I really wanted to recreate this look for you guys because I really liked how it came out, and I got a good amount of compliments on it, and I thought, hey, let me redo this, film it, and post it for you guys. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you're gonna recreate it, make sure you tag me on your photos at MichelleJessica_ on my Instagram. Make sure you're following me there as well. But without further ado, and before I let you guys go, make sure you turn those notification bells on and subscribe to my channel. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so you can get notified when I upload. But thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.